Hi everyone and welcome back to Dev Portal, your go-to channel for mastering database concept. In today's video, we are diving into another essential feature of PostgreSQL, the views. We will cover what a view is and how it is so useful, and then we will see how we can create, modify and drop views. We will discuss some of the advantages of using views along with its best practices and some common mistakes that we should avoid. So let's start our today's video. A view in PostgreSQL is a virtual table that represents the result of a saved SQL query. It does not store the data itself, but it will display the query result dynamically whenever we access the view. So now you might be wondering that why we need to use view. So the first point is that it will simplify complex queries by making them reusable, and one of the significant use case of view is that it will enhance security by restricting access to certain columns and rows. Let me give you an example. Imagine we have an employees table and we frequently need to display the records of employees who are earning more than 50,000. Now instead of writing the same query again and again, what we can do, we can create a view and we can expose only certain columns to the user. This will help us to not to expose the entire table structure to the user, and we will be able to save our sensitive data as well that we don't want to show. Let me show you an example first that how we can create a view. So what we are going to do, we will create a view that will only fetch the records of employees who are earning more than 50,000. So first let me show you how we can do that with the help of query, and then we will see how we can achieve the same result with the help of view. So here, as I have written, it will fetch employee ID, first name and salary. Let me add where clause as well, where salary is greater than 50,000. So currently you can see 15 records are there. So if I add this where condition, now you can see only 7 records are coming. These 7 records we have fetched with the help of our select query. Same operation, or you can say same result, we will achieve with our views. So let me show you how. So first let me create or open another query tool. So here, to create a view, what we need to do, we need to write create view name. So let me write create view, and view name, suppose hi salary employees I have given. And now I need to mention my query. So before that I need to use one keyword, that is as, and now I will mention my query. Let me copy it from here and let me paste it in the next tab. So that's it. This is the script to create the view. As I have not mentioned any schema, so by default it will get created under public schema. Let me show you. So currently if I refresh it under view section, nothing is there. Let me create this view first. View got created. Now if I refresh this view again, you can see under view section high salary employees is reflecting. Let me show you the SQL as well. So currently I have used Postgres as a user to create this view. So the owner is Postgres, and you can see we have only exposed 3 columns, that is employee ID, first name and salary of the employees who are earning more than 50,000. Now in what we are going to do, we will provide the access to some other user as well, so that we can see how security will come into the picture when we are working with views. In your project also you can see, or you can observe, that whenever you have created the view, you might be created to expose certain column, not the all the columns of a table, to the external user or some other user. So first let me show you how we can access the view, and then we will see the security part. So view got created. Now to access the view, we need to write select, and I will mention all from view name, that is my high salary employees. So let me execute this query, and you can see total 7 records are reflecting here as well. If you want, you can apply filter as well. Let me show you. So I will write where, and suppose I have mentioned salary again should be greater than, suppose 60,000 I have mentioned now. So what it will do, first it will fetch, it will execute the view, it will give us the records of employees who are earning more than 50,000, and again I have applied filter, or you can say condition, on that particular result set. From that it will fetch only the records who are earning more than 60,000. So if I execute this, now you can see only 4 records are coming. So basically you will feel like this is a table, but it is not a table, it is a virtual table. It will not store any data, but whenever you execute, or you can say you access this view, it will execute the query which has written inside the view, and it will give you those records. So we have seen how we can create and access the view. Now let me show you how we can modify or provide permission to some other user as well. First let me show you the user. So here I have dev portal as another user. Let me show you under properties. So you can see it is also using localhost and the username is dev portal. If I try to access this view with help of dev portal as a user, it will give me the permission error because currently as a dev portal user I don't have access. Let me show you. So first let me close this Postgres and let me open dev portal, and here you can see we are under public schema, and under public schema you can see view. So let me open query tool first for this dev portal user. So you can see here dev portal user is reflecting. If you don't know what users are, then already I have created a video on that. You can check it out. Link I will give you in the I section. So first let me try to access the view. So I will write select all from and I will give the view name. When I try to execute this query, it will give me the permission error. Let me show you. So you can see permission denied is coming. So how we can overcome from this problem? We need to provide the permission to this user, and we can provide any permission. You can provide all the permission to that user, or you can provide certain permission as well. So let me show you how we can provide permission to the external user. So to provide the permission, first we need to mention one keyword, that is grant, and then we need to mention what operation that user can do. So suppose I want to provide only select permission, so I will write select, and then we need to mention view name. So I will write on view name, that is my high salary employees, and then I need to mention username, that is to dev portal. Let me execute this, and you can see it granted the permission. Now if I go to the dev portal tab and if I try to execute, this will give me the result. You can see 7 records are coming. So with this, what we can understand is that we have saved our table structure to be get exposed to some other user. Let me show you how. If I go to the Postgres user again, if I go to the table section and if I show you the table structure here, let me go to the SQL. So here as you can see we have total 6 columns, that is employee ID, first name, last name, hire date, salary and department ID. But in our view we only expose 3 columns, that is employee ID, first name and salary. With this what we can understand that view will help us to achieve security, or it will only expose certain columns, or you can say our use case will allow us to expose only certain columns to the user. So if anyone asks you in the interview question that why we are creating view, so that is one of the use case. You can tell that we can only expose certain columns as a purpose of a business use case, and that user will not able to see the entire structure of our table, and our table will get secure from that external user as well. He will be only able to see certain data that he is allowed, and sensitive columns we can save us to getting exposed. So till now we have seen how we can create an access view and how we can provide permission. Let me show you the example that how we can modify the view as well. So for that what we can do, currently we are only exposing employee ID, first name and salary. Let me write another column, that is department underscore ID, and to replace the view, as I already told, we can use create or replace here. So if I create this view again, it got created, and if I execute this view using dev portal as a user, now department ID is also reflecting. So this is how we can modify the view. Now let me show you how we can drop a view. So to drop a view we need to execute drop command. So I will write drop, then view, and I need to mention view name, that is high salary employees. Let me execute this, and view got dropped. If I show you here as well, if I refresh view section, you can see now view does not exist. So if I as a dev portal user try to execute this query again, you can see view does not exist, or you can say high salary employee does not exist. It is saying as a relation it does not exist in a DB. So till now we have seen how we can create, modify and drop view in PostgreSQL. Now let's discuss some of its advantages. So the first advantage is that instead of writing big queries multiple times, we can save them as a view. Let me show you another example where we will create a view and we will try to see the total sum of salary according to the department. Now instead of writing same query again and again, I can create a view and I can reuse that view. So first I need to write the query. First I will show you the normal query and then I will show you the view. So I will write select department underscore ID, and here I will use aggregation, that is sum salary. So it will calculate the total sum. Let me give this a name as total salary from employees, and here I need to provide group by clause, group by department underscore ID. If I execute this query, it will give me the department ID and total salary of that department. So you can see it here, total salary is coming along with its department ID. Now same query we will use inside our view as well. So let me create view again, create view, and this time I will give department salary as a name, and I will write as and then my query. I think it didn't copy it. Let me copy it again and let me paste it here, and let me create a view first. So view got created. If I refresh it here, you can see department salary is coming. And now let me execute this view. Select all from department salary. And you can see it is also providing the same result. So that is another use case with your aggregate functions, anything, whatever query you are writing, you can create a view for that query if you think that query you are using multiple times. So instead of writing the same query again, you can create a view and you can utilize that view. So that is one of the advantage. And the second advantage is that it will enhance security. As a view, it will help us to restrict access to certain columns, or you can say sensitive columns. You don't want your sensitive columns to getting exposed so easily. So in that case, you can provide a view to the external person. As we already know that in our employees table, there is a column that is hire date, and it will be a sensitive column because I don't want hire date to get exposed to external user. So in that case, I have created a view so that as an external user, he might not be aware that hire date also exists in that table. So that is another use case, or you can say advantage. So let me show you another example where I will create an inner join query and I will try to fetch employee details along with the department name instead of fetching the department ID that we already did during the modifying the view. So instead of fetching department ID, what we will do, we will fetch department name. We will write an inner join query. So that query will contains two tables and we will see how view will work. So first let me clear all these things, and here I will create a view first. So rather than creating a view first, I will write a query first. So let me write select, and column names I will mention later. First let me provide from employees, and let me give this a name, suppose E, and now I will apply inner join. And under table you can see we have department table as well. So if I show you the columns here, so you can see department ID exists. So I will use this department ID column to match my rows, and then we have department name as well. So this is under public.departments table. So let me go to the query tool again, and here I will write departments as D, and then I need to mention my condition using on keyword. It will be E dot department ID should be equal to D dot department ID. And then what we will do, we will apply another condition, that is and E dot salary should be greater than 50,000 suppose. And let me provide order by clause as well, order by E dot employee underscore ID. And now what we will do, we will fetch E dot employee ID first, then we will fetch first name, then we will fetch salary, and then finally we will fetch department name. So let me execute this query first. So you can see total 7 records are coming along with the department name this time. And now let me create a view for this. So create view, and let me give this a name, suppose high salary with underscore with suppose department name. I have provided as, and let me copy this query and let me paste it here, and let me create this view. So view got created. Now let me try to execute this view or access this view. So I will write select all from, and let me copy the view name and let me paste it here. So you can see now again we are getting department name as well. So data will be same, just we have used view in place of writing the query. So this is how we can work with the view. We have seen how we can apply inner join as well in our query, and we can use that in our view. So now let's discuss some of the common mistakes that we should avoid while working with a view. So the first point is that creating too many views for minor queries can make database management complicated for you. Like in our example, we have seen these are simple queries. So instead of creating view for that, you can create view for complex queries where you think it is very difficult to write these queries again and again or remember these queries again. In that case, you can create a view. For an example, I have shown you these simple examples so that you will be able to understand. And the second point is that view can also slow down queries if they involve multiple joins or aggregation. So first you need to test your query performance, and then we should create a view. And the last point is that if a table get updated, in that case we have to modify our view as well, otherwise we will get an error. So to save ourselves from error, whenever our table get modified, we should modify our view, or you can say update our view as well. So to summarize, a view is a virtual table that displays the result of a saved SQL query. We have seen how we can create, modify and drop view in PostgreSQL. View help us in data abstraction, query reusability and security, and some best practices include avoiding unnecessary views, monitoring performance and keeping view updated. In our next tutorial, we will explore what are materialized view and how they differ from regular views and where we can use them as well. So please stay tuned, and if you found this tutorial helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe and hit the bell icon for more updates. Drop your questions in the comment below, and I will see you in the next video on Dev Portal.